African restaurants, come here. Sit down for a second because right now TikTok is dragging you and I need you to hear me out before you start getting defensive. Small portions. A menu price that doesn't actually match what actually lands on your card. And that's just how it is answer to a complaint that has nothing to do with culture. That's a conversation happening right now, and some of you already know exactly what I'm talking about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your price was never really the problem and 4 fixes that win these customers back without you trying to outprice a chain that buys chicken by the truckload. And I'll be honest, I felt this myself. You're craving home, you walk into a spot, the smell sells you before you even sit down. Then the bill comes. Close to $30 for rice and a piece of chicken you could lose in your palm. This week, that exact feeling is everywhere online. People pulling up their actual receipts, people stitching each other with the same story, and the sharpest one I saw put it plainly. Being African doesn't mean we owe our own restaurants a pass on bad value. Now I know some of this is very uncomfortable, but most of it is fair. So I went through the reviews myself. Meat listed as an upcharge, nobody mentioned until the total. A menu on the wall still showing last year's prices, while the register rings up something else entirely. That is an operations problem, and you, the entrepreneur, are to blame for it. But here is what that comment section kept missing. Some African restaurants have actually cracked this. They have the same cuisine, generous portions, fair prices, 5-star reviews stacking up. So this is not a talent problem. It's not even really a money problem. In fact, it's a systems problem. And systems you can fix. That's what we are doing today. So let's start with the one thing you need to understand before you touch a single price. It's not the number that's turning people off. It's that they don't know what they're actually paying for. The industry number for food alone should land somewhere between 28 and 35% of what you charge. That is the benchmark for restaurants buying at scale, with an existing relationship with a distributor who delivers chicken and rice by the pallet. Now, I want you to picture your actual supply chain. You're not sourcing tilapia and chicken breast off a national contract. You're finding whoever brings it, the right cut of goat or plantain that hasn't turned to rubber by the time it lands, or the one ingredient your dish doesn't work without. So you have lower volume, fewer suppliers, higher cost before you've cooked a single plate. A chain spreads its rent and labor across 500 covers a night. You are spreading yours across 60. And I know that gap is huge, but it's not an excuse. Let's do the math. None of that means hide the number. It means show it. If a dish costs more because of what is actually in it, say that on the menu. Say it in your captions. Say it in 30 seconds on your own TikTok. You're not apologizing for the price. You're answering the question before anyone has to ask it in your comments. And if you know an owner who's still pricing like the ingredients fell out of the sky for free, this next part is for them. If you've ever paid for a plate and walked out still not sure what you actually paid for, I want you to drop a comment below. I want to see how many of us this is. Now let's address the portions. Here's what is actually happening in most of the comments I have seen, and it's not what you would assume. It is rarely that the portion is objectively small. What people are saying is that it is inconsistent. Table 4 gets a generous scoop because the cook likes the regular. Table 7 gets half that because someone new was on the line that night. Customers don't compare your portion to a ruler. They compare it to the photo they saw online or to what their friend got last time. The second it doesn't match, you've lost the argument before you even can say a word. So the fix costs you nothing but discipline. Scale your proteins, standardize your scoop sizes for rice, for stew, for whatever your signature is. The same portion, every plate, every day, no matter who is on the line. If your real food costs genuinely need a smaller size, that's fine, but make it a menu decision, not a kitchen accident. And put a smaller tier on the menu on purpose. A lunch size, a starter size. A customer chooses a smaller portion instead of discovering it. Consistency is the cheapest trust you will ever build. Now, I want you to take a quick pause, because if that portion breakdown just made sense to you, make sure to tap the like right now. That's genuinely how more people running restaurants will end up seeing this video. And I want you to comment which one you've caught yourself doing. Noticing a portion looked smaller than last time, or double checking a receipt you didn't quite trust. I want to know which one you are. Now, the fastest, cheapest fix on this entire list is the bill surprise. This is the one that turns a mildly annoyed customer into someone posting your receipt online. I read it, review after review. Meat that is an upcharge with no warning on the menu, a wall price that hasn't matched the register in months, a total that has come out higher every single time in the same direction, which means it is not a mistake. It's become a habit. Restaurant owner, here's your homework. And it takes one afternoon. Walk your own menu against your own register today. Every price on the wall or the app should be the exact price on the receipt. If protein is extra, that goes on the menu in the same line as the dish, not as a surprise at checkout. You're not required to be the cheapest restaurant in your city. You're required to be honest about the number before someone pulls out their card. A customer who knows the real price going in almost never complains about it after. A customer who finds it out at the register will tell everyone. Last one, and it's the one you already have, you're not just using it. Service. A $28 plate served warm, fast, by someone who actually looks at you when you order reads as fair. That exact same plate, same price, served cold with an attitude, reads as a robbery. You're already paying for that service time either way. Service is the one lever on this entire list that changes how a price feels without you touching the price at all. And pair that with one more move. Build a smaller, honestly priced version of your most popular dish. Not a discount on the bigger plate, a genuinely smaller one, priced fairly for what it actually costs you. That gives the price-sensitive customer, the one who wants to try you but can't commit to $30 tonight, a real way in. And get them through the door once at a fair price. And consistency is what brings them back at full price later. Now, here's a part I actually want you to sit with. The real threat to your restaurant was never a TikTok person calling you out. The real threat is a customer who finds another spot, maybe not even African owned, that satisfies the same craving with a portion that matches what they expected and a bill that matches the menu, and they just quietly never come back. Someone posting about your prices means they still care enough to complain. The customer who actually left did not make a video. They did not leave a review. They told their group chat once and they moved on. So when I say African restaurants come here, I'm not trying to drag you. I'm telling you something a lot of you already know underneath all of this. The loud ones in your comments right now are not your real problem. They're still customers. They still show up. They still order. They still care enough to say something. So your work is to fix the value gap for the people still talking to you. And you will never have to worry about the ones who already walked away without a word. If you know somebody who's running a restaurant right now, an auntie, a cousin, a friend from church, I want you to send them this video. This is not to embarrass them. This is a version of the conversation that actually helps them instead of just dragging them. So to bring this back together, your price was never really the enemy. The silence around it was. So your work is to explain the cost, to standardize the portion, to kill the bill surprise, and to let your service do the work your price tag cannot do by itself. And then Make sure to follow if this was helpful. I've got more of these coming down, breaking down real fixes for us, not just complaints. And I want you to tell me which one of these hit closest to home for you. Was it the bill surprise or the small portion? And tell me below, because I read every single comment.